When talking about the world's most powerful military arms, the names of Russia, United States, and United Kingdom come to our mind. These three countries are not only at the top of the military list, but also remain a few steps ahead from the rest of the world in economy and technology. So what is the reason that these powerful countries have been defeated again and again by a small and weak country like Afghanistan? And what is the secret hidden in Afghanistan that forces the world to run away from here? Afghanistan has spent most of its time fighting with non-state forces. If we look at the history of occupation, about 2,500 years ago, the Persians attacked this place and captured it, but their occupation could not last for more than 2 years. After that, Alexander, who had captured more than half of the world, also attacked Afghanistan, but he too could not rule here for more than 7 years. Mongol, Sikh, and the Mughal Empire also attacked this place at different times, but only the Mongols stayed here for 2 years, whereas Mughal and Sikh Empire lost their control within 1 year. When the British started occupying the subcontinents, the entire area from Bangladesh to India was under the control of the British Army, and they also tried to capture Afghanistan 3 times, but unfortunately they could not succeed even once. In year 1979, Russia also tried to capture Afghanistan. But after fighting the war in Afghanistan for 9 years, Russia also had to withdraw its troops from here. After 12 years, since the Soviets left here, in 2001, America attacked Afghanistan. In this war, not only America but all NATO countries had attacked together. On one side there were 13 different powerful countries including United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Italy, France, Denmark and Poland, and on the other hand, Afghanistan was fighting this war alone. This war against the Afghanistan continued for years but could not get success for some reason, and in year 2021, the American forces will have to sign a deal with the Taliban to leave this place. Experts say that during the 20 years of this war, American forces controlled only 15% of Afghanistan's total area. The total area of Afghanistan is slightly bigger than France, while its population is less than the US state of California, so how has such a small country been competing with the 10 times bigger and more powerful countries? The answer lies in the geographical location of Afghanistan. The whole Afghanistan is divided into tribes. Its entire border is not created by Afghanistan itself, but was built 120 years ago by other countries. This border has no status in front of the tribes that stayed here. If we talk about its southern border, where Pashtuns have been living for more than 100 years, but the reality is that the half family of Pashtuns lives in Afghanistan, and half lives in Pakistan, so when the British Empire defined the border here, it had no special importance in front of these Pashtuns, because this border was just like an imaginary line, like it was before the border was defined. Most of this border passes through very steep hills. That is why controlling this border has been very challenging for both Pakistan and Afghanistan. This border is known by Durand Line, which is 2,640 kilometers long, within which there are at least 300 points from where the border can be crossed. Taking advantage of this, smuggling of drugs, weapons, and militants is very common here. Terrorists living in Afghanistan used to come to Pakistan very easily and prepare new militants from here and take them back. Due to all these reasons, the Durand Line is also known as the most dangerous border in the world. If you see the map of Afghanistan, it is a landlocked country. That means if someone wants to attack it by land, then they has to take the help of neighboring countries, but somehow even if it reaches the border of Afghanistan, so the attackers have to face big mountains. Remember that Afghanistan is undoubtedly the center of the continent, but the low population here is also due to the harsh conditions of these mountains, which are called the Hindu Kush mountain range. This range is so high and so dangerous, and it is considered almost impossible to survive and cross them. These majestic mountains cover 75% of the area of Afghanistan and act as a natural wall of Afghanistan, but the local people living here are well aware of these hills. When the Soviets invaded Afghanistan, the militants used to hide in these mountains and attack Russian tanks and troops, and after attacking the troops, they used to hide in the mountains where it was impossible to find them. Sometimes the militants used to blow up the entire roads and bridges, due to which the Russians could not move forward for many months. The central government is present in Kabul is not have much hold on the tribal areas of Afghanistan. It is obvious that when the Afghan central government is helpless in front of these issues, then how can the military powers coming from outside maintain their hold here? In 1979, the Soviet military managed to build its military base in the Afghanistan. This base was built in a valley surrounded by high mountains. Taking advantage of this, the Afghan militants camped on these mountains and destroyed the entire Soviet base. These militants were in high positions. They closed all the roads leading to the valley, and after some days, it reached the point that the entire supply network of the Soviet military base was broken, and now that they were only dependent on air supplies, which was not a long-term solution for the Soviets. This strategy of the Afghani militants was not only successful in defeating the Soviets, but in year 2001, when the Americans tried to capture Afghanistan, total of 130,000 forces from all the NATO countries were sent there by air, and regular supply of necessary things for this much force were sent through Pakistan's Khyber Pass. Afghan militants were well aware of how important Khyber Pass is for the American military, which is why they stayed in the mountains and did not leave any chance to attack the trucks and tanks. When they had to face a counterattack from the American force, they would easily cross the border and come to Pakistan. They used to burn the containers even before entering the Khyber Pass. The NATO force also took the help of the Afghan government to eliminate terrorists in Afghanistan and made many local people a part of this war, but after the non-stop war for 20 years, the American army used to hold only 15% of Afghanistan. According to an estimate, the American government spent a total of $2.3 trillion in Afghanistan's military operations. After wasting so much money continuously, the American army considered it better to get out of here. But now the question is, why does everyone want to control Afghanistan? The answer to this is also found in the geographical location of Afghanistan. Afghanistan is center of Asia and also called the heart of Asia. To maintain connectivity in Central Asia, South Asia, and the Middle East Asia, it is very important that the affairs of Afghanistan be under control. This is the reason why whenever any power wants to make a hold in Afghanistan, the other power here wants to weaken that power by helping the militants by funding them. We are sure that you will like this video, so do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We will meet you soon with another new video.